Okay, who likes long division? Probably nobody. I don't think that you're going to have to do this on the SAT, but it is something that they would expect you to have known how to do at some point because it's very useful. So I'm going to recap it anyway, and you should learn it, but don't worry if it takes you a long time. I think that's the reason that they probably won't ask you for it, because it will take you probably more than a minute to solve that question, which is about the time frame that you have on the non-calculator section. Okay, so I'm doing 14 divided into this big number, and I've helped myself out by writing my 14 times table out by the side here. That in itself is obviously time consuming, but it does make the whole process quicker. It kind of works like short division. If you haven't seen the video, just scroll up in the page and watch that first, because it's much easier to follow. So I'm going to start by doing 14s into 6. That goes 0 times. So then I put, okay, I'm now doing 14s into 68. So I look for the closest number here, but I have to look for the closest number that's smaller, so it's going to be 56. So I'm going to write that below there, and it goes 4 times into 56, so I'm going to write that up there. Now I need to subtract. So 68 minus 56 is 4 plus 8, which is 12. So I'm going to write that there, and I'm going to bring down the next digit because 14s don't go into 12. So I need to do 14s into 122. So the closest multiple there is 8. So stick that up there, and then write 112 below, because that's how many, that's 8 14s. So we're now going to find the difference. Difference here is 10. Bring the next digit down. Now we're looking for how many 14s in 109. Okay, the answer's got to be 7, and 7 14s are actually 98. So now we need to subtract this difference here, which is 9 plus 2, which is 11, and we need to bring the next digit down. So 14s into 111 are 7 again. And so I need to write 98 here, and I'm going to subtract. So 11 minus 198 is 13. Sorry, 111 minus 98 is 13. And then I'm going to bring that 4 down here. Okay, how many 14s into 134? The answer's got to be 9. So then I'm going to write 9 14s are actually 126, so I'm going to write that there and then figure out what the difference is. So 134 minus 26 is 8, and all the way down I'm going to bring that 1. 14s into 81 go 6 times. Whoops, it's not a very good 6, hang on. 14s into 81 go 6 times. No, they don't. They go 5 times. Okay, that's better. Okay, so we need to do 70, and when we subtract there we get 11, so our remainder is 11, because we don't have any more numbers to bring down. So let me just write out what we've actually done there. So we took the number 682,914,1, we divided it by 14, and we got 487795 and 11 14ths. So your remainder is the bit that you haven't actually managed to divide by 14, because obviously 11 over 14 is less than 1. So that might all seem a bit arbitrary, but let me just explain the logic of the process here. So what you're doing is you're looking for the multiple of 14 that's just less than the number you actually have. So here we're looking for the multiple of 14 that's closest to 68. So that would be 56, but there's a bit more left. So we know that 14 goes into 68 4 times, and then there's a bit left over. When you subtract, you find that bit left over. And when you bring the next digit down, you're doing 14s into the next number, which if you think about place value, once you get all the way to the end, you've divided it into the 10,000s, the thousands, the hundreds, the tens, the ones, or whatever. If you don't really understand that, but you know how to do the process, that's also fine too. It just helps.